that who is the most important person. And then he asked the uh, some collector or something. So like this, he went up to the king, and the king also said that he also was he also takes guidance from a devotee, and the devotee, when he went to the devotee is always worshipping Krishna. So that's how he realized that there is no point in doing anything else. All these people are have limited intelligence, limited access to authority. So we should understand that the most intelligent person in the Bhagavad Gita, also Krishna says, and over here also it's being spoken, is that a person who understanding who he or she is, who actually we are, that is the soul, and what is most beneficial and what nourishes the soul the most. So he does Kevala Bhakti. This is what is being explained, that devotional service is basically pure devotional services where we have no other agenda but to please the Lord, not even going back home, back to Godhead. That is a byproduct. If it happens, it happens, but the devotee is more interested in pleasing and serving Krishna and his devotees. So that is his focus. So that is, and yeah, path chosen by less intelligent men, demigod worship, because we are going to him for some kind of a, like over here it's been written that, like, even to want moksha, that also comes in the category of dharma arth kama moksha. That is also rejected by pure devotees, because that is also at the material level. What we are planning, what we really want to do is go beyond that. Demigod worships can achieve highest perfection only by association of devotees. So if you remember that story of even, I think the name was of this devotee, Chandi Das, or so he had a brother who um, who was a devotee of Krishna, and Chandi Das was a devotee of Ma Kali. And so they used to both worship, and Chandidas had a very beautiful garden where very beautiful flowers uh, were grown. And so then uh, so one day this devotee, who's his brother, he did not have flowers to offer it to Krishna. So he actually stole from Chandidas's garden, and after that, and offered it to Krishna. And after that, when Chandidas did the worship of Ma Kali, at that time Ma Kali appeared to him, and she said, I'm very, very pleased with you. So he says, what did I do so special today? So at that time, she said, um, because you offered these flowers first to my Lord, and then I got the Mahaprasad. So I'm very pleased with you. Understanding that, so over here also it shows how the Lord, the demigods whom we are worshipping for some material benefits, material desires to be fulfilled, they are also happier and more pleased if we worship the Lord, Supreme Lord Himself. Demigod worshippers can achieve highest perfection only by association of devotees. So when we do demigod worship also, only actually the only way to please the Supreme Lord or to achieve Krishna is somebody who has Krishna, and that is his devotees. Who wouldn't get attracted to such an excellent process of Bhakti Yoga? Yeah. Where, okay. Sonak inspires Sutta Goswami into speaking more. What further questions did Parikshit Maharaj ask? You are an expert and we are eager to please speak Hari Katha. See over here, Parikshit Maharaj is constantly asking questions which inspire other people to hear and understand more about Krishna. So that's why uh, Parikshit Maharaj is really very, very glorious. we know the glories of Sukhdev Goswami also. So Sukhdev Goswami's life also we know how he was in his past life. He was actually a parrot of the Srimati Radharani herself. So when Lord Shiva and Mother Parvati were Lord Shiva, Mother Parvati wanted to hear Srimad Bhagavatam, and at that time um, he said, "Okay, um, tell you the I'll tell you the whole Bhagavatam, but you please keep acknowledging." So at that time, Mother Parvati in between went off to sleep, but Sukhdev Goswami, who was in the form of a parrot sitting on top of the tree, kept acknowledging, okay, yeah. So Lord Shiva continued to speak the Srimad Bhagavatam. Sukhdev Goswami was so attracted by Srimad Bhagavatam, that is the um uh, such a ripened sweet fruit uh, which was being so spoken at this point of time by Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva loves to glorify Srimati Radharani and Krishna. That is his. That's why he has written. I think so many ashtakams are there. So many prayers are there which he has written for glorification of Srimati Radharani. So at that time, after almost it was complete. He opened his eyes and he saw Mother Parvati was sleeping, and he saw who was acknowledging all through because she had gone off to sleep. So he actually tried to harm Sukhdev Goswami. At that time, he flew from there and entered the womb of Vyasdev's wife. And that's how he appeared again. And again, he heard the Srimad. The only reason why he came out from there was because he heard Srimad Bhagavatam from Vyasdev. So that was the attraction of Sukhdev Goswami towards Harikatha. Any other activity than Harikatha steals away one's lifetime. So, what is the purpose of our life? Is to offer it to Krishna by engaging all our senses in the service of Krishna. So the so when we are hearing Srimad Bhagavatam or Hari Katha, that is the only way we are utilizing our life. But isn't a man meant to live a long life making merry? Bellows breathe stronger and animals make much merrier. So I'm sorry, I'm not able to understand. Bellows breathe stronger and animals make much merrier. Only animalistic men glorify those who are expert in enjoying animalistic pleasures. Okay. So when we hear the glorification of material life, whom do we hear it from? From from the people who are trying to enjoy more and more, and that takes away uh, our very purpose of our life, which is to glorify the Supreme Lord, and then we get attracted to lower modes. Could we go down, Mataji? Okay. So limb by limb description of such animalistic people. So ear holes of snakes. So if listen about prowess and marvelous a- acts of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the purpose is to hear the glorification. And if we do not, then they are like snake holes. where snakes come and stay. And tongue of a frog, sung or chanted loudly the worthy songs about the Lord. So if this tongue is utilized for glorification of the Lord, it's okay. Otherwise, it's a song which a frog sings where he attracts the presence of a snake which comes and eats up the frog. Upper portion of the body, though crowned with a silk turban, only a heavy burden. So it's only a heavy burden if we are not using it for uh, bowing down to the supreme personality of Godhead. So all these, if we see who represents this, all these aspects were done by Ambarish Maharaj. I'm just saying it, and we are reading. Hands, though decorated with glittering bangles like those of a dead man, like a dead person, a dead body lying over there, and you decorate the body of that person. It's like this if we are not engaging our hands in the service of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Eyes are compared to plumes of the peacock. Uh, Look at the symbolic representation of the personality of Godhead. So, of course, uh, eyes are supposed to, look at the beautiful form of the Supreme Lord. And otherwise, if not done, then uh, it's just a mere feather. And otherwise, it can be a decoration on the uh, head of the Supreme Lord. Legs, certainly a dead body. Okay, legs are compared to tree trunks, uh, which are for why we have been given these legs as to move towards the Supreme Personality to go to holy places. Then the person certainly a dead body. So a dead body, why we call it a dead body? Because in comparison to the life we have, if we are cut off from if a hand is cut off uh, from the uh, from the rest of the body, the hand just moves about for some time and ultimately dies, stops moving. That's the kind of a body we have when we are. That's the kind who we are if we are disconnected from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We'll move for some time, move here and there, but we will not be able to do anything useful. And since not connected to the body, there will be no nourishment reaching to this hand or any part of the body. So then, I'm sorry, I don't know if I'm making myself clear. I'll say it all over again. Um, so we are part and parcel of Krishna, and each and every part and parcel of the whole body is supposed to, if it is engaged in the service of the stomach, then the whole body gets nourished. So, similarly, if we are engaged in the service of Krishna, we are using this body in the service of Krishna, we get thoroughly nourished. But if we do not do that, then we are like that part of the body which has been cut from the main body and will move about for a few seconds or a few minutes, but ultimately will not be able to benefit anybody or anyone or even ourselves. Uh, Received the dust of the feet of pure devotees on his head, experienced the aroma of the tulsi from the lotus feet of the Lord. So these are the most important things for us to put on our head. Heart steel framed. It's steel framed. Heart does not change even after one chanting the holy name of the Lord. So, Ariel. So this is all is which is being explained over here. Um, so Suta Goswami describes what happens next. This is the what is about in the whole chapter. Parikshit Maharaj detaches himself from the material things and inquires. So this is the purpose of uh, how we can actually concentrate on Krishna by detaching ourselves from material desires and asking the right questions. But we can only detach ourselves when we become attached to Krishna and his devotees. So, of course, says his words are enlightening. Should we go on to the main? This is just a summary of the whole chapter. We can go on to the next page. The process of creation. uh, Parikshit Maharaj concentrates his mind on Krishna after hearing from Sukhdev Goswami. Thus, he detaches himself from all material things. So, that is the purpose, that we have to detach ourselves from this material thing by attaching ourselves to the Supreme Lord. And in such a way, we can renounce everything that is material and start asking the questions which are actually beneficial for not only for us, but for the entire mankind, humankind, which is what Parikshit Maharaj did. So slowly and gradually, like Parikshit Maharaj says, that Hari Katha is dispelling all his ignorance. So now he wants to know how the Lord creates this universe through his energies. So, um these questions, such questions are important, so we understand the only the uh, Lord, the Supreme Lord's expansions, what they can do is something which is so beyond our understanding. Then what is actually the Supreme Personality of Godhead? How we understand how he is Vibhu, his greatness we can understand. So that's why Parikshit Maharaj is, for a person, a worldly minded person, when he reads all these things with the Supreme, which the Supreme Lord does, he gets attracted and understands that he is the only one whom he would like to surrender to. So over here, Karnodaksh, how the whole Sarg and Visarg, how Karnodaksha Vishnu through his Maya Shakti carries out the primary creation, and through the demigods like Brahma and Prajapatis carries out the secondary creation. So now the body of the Supreme Lord, which uh, we'll be discussing, will be the um, where all the demigods and everything will be, how they operate, how this material world is operating, how the Lord is doing everything through his energies, through his Maya Shakti. And understanding the Lord's activities are inconceivable. How Lord, as Karnodaksha Vishnu, Mataji, could you take it down? Yeah. Vishnu agitates and maintains the gunas during Sarga and does the same thing using his guna avatars during Visarga. Does this happen simultaneously or in sequence? So, using his guna avatars. So, during the creation, maybe later. Okay, I'll go on. Please clear my doubts as you are most qualified to do so. Before answering the questions by uh, Parikshit Maharaj, Sukhdev Goswami offers prayers to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So all these questions will be answered over here. Sukhdev Goswami systematically remembered the master of the senses and to reply properly. So the first thing which we have to do when we have to ask certain questions, take a lower position and glorify the Supreme Lord, because this knowledge only comes through revelation, not by actual understanding. We can try to understand it, but the Lord reveals when He's pleased with us. So, my obeisances to the Lord who accepts three modes for creation, resides in all Eli, and His ways are inconceivable. So, three modes for the material world to manifest, the three modes of the Sattva Guna, Rajogun, and Tamogun have to be manifested. Complete form of existence who liberates pious devotees, destroys the advances of non-devotees, grants specific destination to transcendentalists. So this is what the Lord does. Lord associates with Yadu dynasty, enjoyer of both material and spiritual worlds. But his transcendental opulence is immeasurable, enjoys in spiritual world. So he comes into this material world, but he's actually is continuously enjoying in the spiritual world in the form of Bhagwan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. All auspicious Lord Krishna, about whom glorification, remembrances, audience, prayers, hearing, and worship can at once cleanse the effects of all sins. So this is the capacity of all auspicious Lord, that once we glorify Him or remember Him, or we are in front of Him, we pray to Him, hearing and worshipping, everything, all sinful things can be destroyed within our heart. All auspicious Lord Shri Krishna, highly intellectual, simply by surrendering unto His lotus feet, are relieved of all attachments to present and what's the left I cannot read. Without difficulty, progress attachments to present and future existence, and without difficulty, progress towards spiritual existence. So just by
Hare Krishna Mataji.
yes, Mataji.
Mataji, is it possible you to explain in Hindi? As some devotees are
God.
calling.
Oh yes, yes.
I also just forgot because reading in English and explaining just.
Yeah, that's right. Okay,
Sorry,
yes.
Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. All auspicious Lord Shri Krishna, because people possessing any great quality cannot achieve any result without dedication of such great qualities to the service of the Lord. तो हमारे में जो बहुत हमें भी कुछ क्वालिटीज रहती हैं, जैसे भगवान में है, उनके अंदर सब वो ऑल ऑस्पिशियस, मतलब वो सबसे मंगलमय, सब चीजों को ऑस्पिशियस कर देते हैं, सब मंगल कर देते हैं उनका। अगर हम उनकी जब पूजा आराधना करते हैं, तो वो जो क्वालिटीज हैं कई बार हम में भी आ जाती हैं, लेकिन उनको उठाने का भार हम में तभी रहता है जब भगवान की सेवा में हम हमेशा लगे रहते हैं और ये समझते हैं कि ये जितनी भी गुण हैं, जितने भी क्वालिटीज हैं, ये सब भगवान खुद से हमारे खुद खुद उनके थ्रू हमारे पास आ रहे हैं, तो हम इनको धारण करने की शक्ति रख सकते हैं। तो इनको भगवान को अर्पित करना बहुत आवश्यक है। People of any sinful race or those addicted to any sinful acts can be purified by taking shelter of the supreme devotees of the Lord due to his being the supreme power. तो कोई भी पाप कर्म करने की जो अ, मतलब पूरी रेस है, मतलब अगर आपकी पूरी जो फैमिली है और आप जिस कम्युनिटी को बिलोंग करते हैं, वो सब पापों पापों में डूबी हुई है, हमेशा पाप किए हैं, पाप करने की इच्छा हृदय से जाती ही नहीं है। पर एक बार अगर गलती से भी भक्तों का संग हो गया या भगवान की हमने शरण ले ली, तो वो भगवान उनसे हमको मुक्त करवा सकते हैं। और नीचे जाएंगे माता जी। He is the supreme soul and the supreme lord of all self-realized soul, personification of the Vedas, religious scriptures and austerities. He is worshipped by Lord Brahma and Shiva and all those who are transcendental to all pretensions. So जितना भी इस भौतिक जगत में जो कुछ भी है, भगवान ही उनके अ, अ, उनके मतलब उनसे ही सब कुछ आ रहा है। May Lord Shri Krishna, Lord of all devotees, protector of Vrishni, etc., leader of all, ये एली मुझे ये समझ में नहीं आ रहा क्या रिप्रेजेंट करता है। कंट्रोल ऑफ इंटेलिजेंस, proprietor of all planets and supreme incarnation. तो वही हमको इस भौतिक जगत से मुक्ति दिला सकते हैं। सिर्फ उनके चरणों में हमको मेडिटेट करना है, उनके चरणों वी हैव उनके चरणों की शरण लेनी है। नीचे जाएंगे माता जी। हम यहीं तक पढ़ें कि कल फिर बाकी कल कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि 7:15 हो गए।